Hey guys, sorry I haven't posted a video in like forever, but I've just been super busy and I've been slightly injured. Hey! Sorry, my cats are fighting. Which I'll get into. I've been injured. I'll get into that a little bit later. But basically, I'm going to do a new stretching video because it's been requested several times. And so, just to begin with, I have a list of stretches that I'm going to show y'all, and if y'all have any other requests, feel free to go ahead and message me what you'd like to see. I'm not making any promises because sometimes I get weird requests, or other times it's something I've already shown. Y'all just might call it something a little different. But anyway, I just want you to know that if I think I can do it, or I will definitely try to do it, but if I can't do it, like I've been asked to do the bound lotus several times, which I cannot do. I've tried multiple times, but my arms just don't go like that. Like, here's my best attempt. You're supposed to try and grab both feet with your arms behind your back. I can do it if I go like this, but it just doesn't really work, and it hurts my shoulders. So anyway, to start the video off, I'm going to show you the butterfly stretch, which I've showed you before. You just start, with your legs, like, start in pike, and then you just bring your legs up in front of you like this. And depending on how flexible your hips are or whatever, if you can't, just bring them to where your knees are either almost on the ground or as close to the ground as you can get them. If, you have to be pretty far out, that's okay. Like, I can bring my feet, my heels almost all the way in, and my knees are still pretty close to the ground. If you're really close up, but your knees are all the way up here, well, that's not going to help you stretch at all. So anyway, this helps with not only your turnout, but it also helps loosen up your hips. Just make sure that when you go into the butterfly, you're not sitting back like this while you're stretching, because if you go over like that, it's not really going to help. You have to make sure you stay in a straight line as much as you can, because it loosens up your hips more, and you'll feel it, I promise you, if you're doing it right. So it helps your turnout to go straight forward, and obviously I'm not going to hold these for as long as you should, but you should really hold these for at least 15-20 seconds, and if it really hurts, then what helps is to breathe in through your nose, and then breathe out in your mouth, and go down when you breathe out. I mean, obviously you're not going to be going up and down this much, but just slightly like this, and it helps in any stretch. But if you, you don't want to bounce your hips or your legs like that, because it can tear your muscles. It's not a too common occurrence, but it can happen, so I don't advise bouncing. So anyway, you'll want to hold it going straight forward. Try and get your nose all the way to the ground if you can. And you'll also want to go to the right side. And make sure when you go over to the right, you don't bring your hip bone and leg up off the floor, because that's not going to help you stretch at all. If you need to, go ahead and just push down gently on your leg. Even if you don't get all the way nose touching your knee, that's fine. You're going to want to do that on your right and your left. So you're going to want to make sure you go both to the right side and the left side. And if you need to, push down your leg and keep your hip bones on the floor. And try not to, here, I'll turn a little bit diagonal. Try not to, just lean your side over like this. You want to actually get over, if that makes sense. Let's see, so I did butterfly. Okay, straddle, or middle splits, whatever you want to call this. But sitting in your center splits, I guess, one thing you want to make sure of, which I don't know how far I'll have to back up. My phone camera is, that's as far as I can get. So make sure when you go forward, because you're going to want to do this forward, right, and left, you're not rolling your legs in like this, because it doesn't really help your turnout. You want to keep your legs out as much as you can, and try and press on them a little bit, because it helps them stay turned up and out. People ask how I've gotten myself to where, here, I'll turn to the side, how I can lay my stomach flat on the ground like this. It's just a lot of hard work stretching, and also my teacher, sorry, the lighting's kind of bad in here. It's really awkward. My teacher would come and gently push on our backs as we stayed here, and eventually she would sit on us. I mean, obviously not when we're this far from the ground, but when we'd be really close, she would gently sit on us. So yeah, with your straddle, make sure that you go forward. And once again, just like in the butterfly, you want to keep your hips and shoulders aligned. You don't want to slouch forward, because that's not really going to help you keep your turnout or anything. So make sure when you go forward that you're actually stretching. You can do this both flexed and pointed. Some dancers feel it more when they flex, some dancers feel it more when they point. Also, go to the right. Just stretch for the right. You can either do this way or like this. And make sure though that you don't bring your hip bone up off of the ground like this. I mean, most dancers don't bring their hip off that much, but it's like a slight little hip raise, which my teachers have an eagle eye for. So anyway, here, I'll scoot over a little bit. I'm just going to show you one side to keep this video a little bit shorter. So make sure when you go to the right, like I said, don't raise the hip bone, and you also want to make sure you're not slouching forward if you're trying to go just to the side. There is a stretch where you stretch kind of diagonally straight out, but that's, like, just make sure you keep this one and this one separate. So pike, this one's pretty easy. I think most of y'all should have heard of this. So make sure you keep your hips and shoulders aligned. You don't want to be slouching back or going forward like this. This can help just lengthen the back of your legs really. I like to do this flexed because I feel the stretch more, but I'll show y'all both flexed and pointed. So pointed, you know, go forward, and if you pull gently, if your feet are pointed like this, you can put your hands on top of your feet and gently, not exactly pull, but kind of use your arms to get your body closer to your legs. But if you're flexed, you don't really want to put your hands on the back of your legs and pull back, because I've heard that can not only hurt your shoulders, but it can also hurt your tendons because you're pulling back on them. Make sure that when you go forward, whether you're pointed or flexed, that your back is pretty straight. I mean, eventually, once you get over, you're a little bit curved, but if you're arching or curling too much, then you're not going to really feel the stretch along your legs. And also, if you keep your head up, it doesn't stretch you as much as if you put your head down, because then you'll feel a stretch not only in the back of your neck, but the back of your legs too. Okay, this is one, I don't know how many dance studios do this, but I like to stretch like this. I open my pike a little bit, just like a little bit more than shoulder width, and then I can stretch forward more, because then I can get my head to the ground more, like that. And you can do this pointed or flexed. That one's pretty simple. Let's see, what else do I have on here? Okay, cat stretch. This one is to help stretch your back. I've gotten a lot of requests about how I stretch my back. You're just going to start sitting on your knees like this. Make sure, once again, that your back isn't too curled or too arched. And what you're going to do, you're just going to go out like this, and you can curl up, and it pops your back, and you can arch your back. I don't know if you can hear that popping, but my back just popped like 6 times. And then you can come back and stretch again, and then you curl up. And that's pretty simple. If you have a cat, or if you know any cats, then it looks pretty much like what a cat does. Okay, so for your splits, like I said, my hip is injured, so I'm not going to be able to show you my better side, which is my left, because when I do my left split, it pops the right hip. So I'm going to show you my right split. So here's my right split. You can do this turned in and turned out, or turned in, yeah, and turned out. Most dancers like to do it turned out because that's how you're going to leap, whether it's like this, or however your arms go. You can also do it flexed, which you can't really see my back leg. Here, I'll scoot back a little bit. Here we go. You can do it flexed like this, or one of my teachers had us do it turned in and flexed. So you stretch like this, and it gives you more of a deeper stretch in your hip, but I can't do that right now because my hips are really tight. And then when you do this, my dance teacher's been having us do this for stretches lately. Bring your arms up and go forward in your split, and then kind of gently roll back and forth. And obviously you hold it longer than this, but like I said, this is just an instructional video. Then you come up and you go back, and if you can't hold it going back, then you can gently push yourself off the ground, like that. You can also like bring your foot up, but I'm not very good at doing that. I'll show you my oversplits a little bit later on. Hip openers is something we do in modern. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this very well because I have to lay down for this. You basically have a front attitude and a back attitude. Well, actually, it's kind of a side, I guess, because it's not really to the back, but whatever. And you're just going to lay down gently, like this. And you'll feel a stretch right along your hip. And here, I'm going to switch sides. That way, hopefully, you can see it a little bit better. So anyway, you'll feel it right along your hip, and if you need a deeper stretch, you can take this leg in front and pull it up a little bit closer. And you should feel it a little bit in your hip and a little bit right here on your hamstrings. So the frog stretch, this is one that I really like. It helps your turnout, and it also loosens up your hips. This is what's called the frog. I don't know why it's called the frog. I mean, I guess it kind of looks like a frog. Mine is pretty darn turned out, I guess. Typically, like when I started this, I was like up out here. And you want to make sure when you do this, you keep your toes up and your heels down. Because otherwise, it's like sickling your feet, and that's just nasty. So what you're going to do is keep your butt on the ground. You don't want it up or like this. Some dancers hold the stretch like this, but really that hurts my hips. So I mean, you can if you want, but I don't particularly like it. So one way to help this, not only with your turnout, but also with your back, is you can put your hands down and your back down. Put your hands under your shoulders, and you slowly push up. And this will help your back flexibility and your arabesque. So you can do that several times, and you can also do it with your arms like out in front, up, or in second, or whatever. And it'll help your back. It'll help increase the back muscles. Okay, so you can do this. It helps. I don't know what to call this, so I called it just like front attitude, and your back is straight because that's what it is. And like going forward, it just opens up the outside of your hip, the back outside of your hip. And you can also go back, which opens up the inside of your hip. So I really like this one a lot also. I don't really have very many details on how this one helps because we don't do it in class very much, but sometimes I'll just be sitting in a random position. I'll be like, oh, hey, look, this stretches me. So then I just make up a name for it. Hip cross stretch. Oh, okay. So you're going to sit with your legs up like this, and you take whichever leg you want, and you want to cross it, like put your ankle where your knee is. Then you just bring your foot up as close to you can as your body, as close to your body as you can. That was weird. And then you just like, you don't want to sit back like this because you don't feel the stretch in your hip, and you'll feel it along this side on your other hip here, right here. And you're going to push up toward your hip, and you'll feel it right along here. And you don't want to like turn in or whatever or overcross your leg, because if you overcross it like this, you're not really going to feel a stretch. Okay, dolphin. This is kind of like frog, but without the legs in the back. So you're just going to like push up like this. This helps your back. And you can also, you can also do this with your arms like up or something. I'm just going to do them like this. Oh, sorry, I have a cat attacking my feet. Yeah, you can stretch it like this. Come on, out of here. Sorry. Or you can also take your legs up as you go, which helps your arabesque. Or you can do it like this, making sure you keep your hips on the ground. Because if you take your hip off the ground, well, that's not really going to help. And then you have like an Alice Sebesque. What are you doing there? Crazy cat. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to show you my penchés now. So I'm going to have to turn the camera off because I'm using the couch, I think. Not penché, oversplit. Now, I am going to show you my left split for this. Hi, you're back. Because I can't do my right oversplit very well. There we go. Okay, I just had to, this is our subwoofer and it's kind of big. So you can practice doing your oversplits on a couch or something. Yeah, my hip just popped. Sorry, I'm not going to hold that one very long, but you can also practice going forward and back in your oversplit. So I call this just like, where did I put it? Oh, just like a couch pike. So you're going to be in the pike position, the open pike on the couch, and you can just like pull yourself gently more through, like this. and it stretches your back more and the back of your legs. So I mean, it's not much different than the open pike, but you can either flex or point your feet, and you'll just feel a bit deeper of a stretch. Okay, now the middle split on the couch. You want to get yourself up as close to the couch or the wall as you can, and you just sit in your middle splits, which I don't have a 180 split right now, but someday it will happen. So you can just sit here, you can like read a book or watch a movie on your iTouch or iPod or iPhone or whatever you have, or you can just sit here and be bored. So you can just sit here for a while, you can flex, you can point, you can even do little pulses upward. You can also do the open and closing of your legs, but I mean, you can basically do whatever you want. So you're just going to take your leg up to the front, and you straighten your leg, and you bring it up to the side, like that. And then from the side, you bring your leg all the way around. This will help your penché to the back. And then you can just stretch it there. So yeah, those are the stretches that I have to show you. And if you have any more you'd like to see, please just message me. Thanks.